All right, we got the big top tournament starting today. Let me clear off some stuff off my desktop here. Open up some chests. Get some rewards. Maybe. Getting a practice token. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see what we got. Let's see if I have. I don't think I have a club card trading. I think I already did it. I have a new special out. I was hoping that they'd have some power 5 balls, but power 3. Some top spin boost. Some low win balls. Those look like really good low win balls. It's too bad it's in a mixed pack. Got something new. Rock on. Open up that last chest there and let's get rolling. So the big top tournament's going to be at Parc de Paris. Let's enter. And there's a Ricky. I can only do Ricky and Pro. And barely Pro. I don't know how I got promoted. I don't play that much. Let's go check out hole number 1. Hole number 1. All right, I'm taking the shot from over here, trying to go for the green. I'm taking that back right there, and we'll see which way the wind's blowing. If the wind's blowing where I need a 4 power ball, I'm gonna bring out like a prestige ball. I got one of them. I got one. I'm gonna use it. I think I have some other balls that are like that, but I'm trying to get rid of some of those ones that I only had a few of. Let's back up. Just nope, too late. I was gonna see which way the wind was blowing. It says right there. If I would have looked, I'd know now. I'd have information that would be valuable. Because we could be strategizing right now instead of talking about what ifs. What if? Come on. At least my opponent goes first, so I didn't waste the whole thing. So I got a big ass headwind, and that headwind it means you got to ride lower down here in the bottom. And with your ball guide down here in the bottom, you're more in the tree, so you've got to come out. You got to pull it a little bit to the left to clear these trees, and it puts you up here at the top of the green. Now, it's still not a bad area to be up here at the top because it's a makeable chip. But you've got to get that landing spot on that drive, and I think with a 5 power ball you could get it done against that headwind, but a 4 power ball might not get it done. Now they do have a low, they have a one wind ball, so my wind should be a little bit lower if I bring a 2 wind ball. Should be. At least that's the rumor. I never really liked the shot. Like, getting over to here is the easiest way to approach this hole, but the second shot sucks because you're going down a hill to the cup, and it's a tough shot. There's just no way, not against that headwind. So I'm going to bring out that prestige ball. I don't think I have to put on quite all the top spin, so there's 5. 4-1. I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna over pull it just a little. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I can catch that fairway. Nope. That's how much that ball got laid down by that wind. And there's almost like no going against it. Like headwind here like kills that shot. I could have been a little bit more to the right. The fairway's a little bit deeper, but it wouldn't have mattered. I was way in the hell off. I was a good 2 rings at max overpower of being out into the fairway, and that wind killed that and at least a good another ring. What a waste of a good power 4 ball. Now in this situation right here, their red line's far enough up. Always give yourself enough room that you can work the red line And you can see the direction they're coming into the cup. It drops down right there coming into it. So it's kind of a difficult shot from distance. And they're short shooting it. I never can figure out why people do that. Close. 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 Nice shot. All right, let's see if I can work myself. Now, yesterday I had this exact same shot, and I was dicking around. And let's see if I can actually work myself to the cup. Like how close can I get before I hit that tree? Two six. I'm gonna do a full ring. And I hit it one ring good to the left. I could have got a little bit closer and extrapolated where it was going to drop and then put a little bit of curl on it. That's what I did yesterday to bring it around, but whenever you involve the word curl in a shot. And what I thought after I took that shot was I should have tried to see like how much I could work it to it and really like work the tail. I probably still could have worked it a little bit better there, taking a little bit of top spin off or back spin off. It might have stretched it out a little so that I could make up that last little bit of distance. You could have a shot at it there. It's always it's nice when you can go out on a hole, and if you do fail, you still have a shot at it. You're just with your Nirvana or your Spitfire. So if you take that shot regularly, it's really important to not get discouraged when you're in your rough iron, your sandwich. It's like, okay, hey, I got it. I'm okay. I can recover from that. Hole number 2. Hole number 2. Da-na-na-na. All right, let's see if we can just go out there and play it. And what did I bring yesterday? I brought a Quasar, I think. I might have brought, I think I did bring a Quasar. I might have brought a Katana, though. A Grizzly. I'm playing it at 0.9 per ring. And I'm doing 10%. If I can get my trusty dusty calculator out. Times 4.7 divided by 0.9, 5.74 rings. Two backspin, 5.74 rings. There's 5.75. Perfect. That was a perfect pull right there. And I hit it one ring great to the right. All that effort, and then hit it one ring great to the right. It's hard to tell where it would have ended up if I'd hit it perfect. On the right hand side there, it gets closer to the, I think it gets closer that second bounce when you're on this side. Seemed like a poor shot setup. Well, what was poor was I set it up right. I just didn't hit perfect, so I have no idea what it would have did, or could have did, or should have did. See if my opponent can get it right. I got it right on here yesterday. I was out just practicing, and I absolutely got it right. I'll have to go back and watch that video again. I could have swore I used a Katana just because, like, some of these holes, but I may have used a Quasar on it. See if we can get in the hole from here. There's no guarantee. I've missed putts like that I don't know how many times. That's a long putt. Come on. I haven't missed a putt. I don't want to say anything about like missing putts, because I don't want to have to knock on wood. I love putting. The Sandcastle birdie. All right, we're on a big par 5 here. So hole number 3. Hole number 3. We needed to pick something up so far, and we haven't. We've had some opportunities, especially on hole number 1. Hole number 3, we got a great opportunity here. And I'm going to take this with a Titan just because I'm still kind of in a practice mode. So I'm going to take my number 1 bag with a Titan. Doesn't really matter which way the wind's going. I'm going to hit the same shot. I'm just going to have to work the setup a little different depending on the wind. If I have tailwind, I can use it. If I have headwind, I'll have to address it. If we get out there on the course, if I go first. All right. I'm taking my number 1 bag. I'm taking a Titan, the king of balls. Let's see where our red line's at. Excellent. 5 topspin. All right, and the wind's going to push me out 4-4. And then I'm going to put that power back into it, or at least some of it. Hitting it perfect. And see if we can get it to just float out there, land in that. Now we need to clear that, and just trying to roll up to that shadow. El Perfecto. That puts me low coming into the cup. The whole goal here is to try and put left-hand side spin to straighten out the ball guide. And what I did wrong yesterday was I did that, and then at the very end, it kind of curled towards the cup, and you can straighten that ball guide out by putting a little bit more backspin on. So you're getting a little bit closer to the cup and trying to run it straight to the cup instead of involving that hill. That's my goal. El Perfecto. Let's see if my opponent can get it right. Letting the wind do the work for him. In that situation right there, max curl is a big deal. Like, you really want to make sure, because the farther you go forward, the more it runs in the direction that you want to run. So you don't want to hug that edge. You want to get you want to get up to where I'm at, because we have a window right here with our sniper. Okay, so I'm going to put on maximum, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to see if I can get to a spot where my ball guide is running true up the hill. And I'm going to do a 4-4. I'm trying a new spot. I love this hole, and the last couple times we played it, I haven't had as much success as I have in the past. I'm just trying something new. 4-4. I get down into that spot, and then I don't take full advantage of it. Oh, and I hit it great to the right. Oh! And that kind of wind, great to the right. Damn it. That was way off. Problem with that is I can go back and watch the video and see where the first bounce was. So going back and watching the first bounce and seeing how it responded on the course down there, like in that area, it may take a jump, like I hit to the right, so it may not be on the flat surface I started off on, and then it throws the ball to the right. I'm going to get an Albie on this hole this week. faux show. As far off as that was, I know it's hard to believe, but I will. It's going to happen. In the hole. Eagle. All right. Got to pick something up. I had some great opportunities in that first set, even though that par 3 is a scary par 3. In this situation right here, you're better off, especially with an in-bringer and you're used to playing it this way, is to put on a little bit of backspin and get right up to the cup. And see, the farther you move it to the left, the more that tail's going to stretch out. And I don't want that ball to just roll out. If you put some backspin on, even just a little bit of backspin, it'll make the ball stop. And it's easy to miss ones like that if you don't hit it perfect. Whereas if you put a little bit of backspin and get right up next to the cup, you have a better shot. All right. Hole number 4. We're going to pick something up, or are we just going to dick around all day? All right, here's a shot to pick something up. And I think on this one I did need to bring, it seemed like I needed to bring a bigger power ball to get to the stuff. I'm gonna just take I don't think I need a Titan. I think I can get away with a Katana, but we'll start off with a 3 power ball and see like what distance that gives me. I think I'm at minimum club, which would be 1.3 per ring. Tim goes first. Let's see what Tim's using. Tim's using a power 2 ball. There's his red line. He's got plenty of room with a power 2 ball. Power 3 ball, though, it puts you more towards minimum, because they're kind of in between minimum and max. This is another hole that's got all kinds of movement on the green. If you try and come into it with a little bit of backspin, one landing spot is totally different than another. Okay, there's min, there's max, there's mid, so I'm eking towards min. I'm going to do 1.2 per ring. So that's about a 3 ring pool. And that was 3 rings and maybe a little. Hitting it perfect. We'll see if we can get one to hit. At least roll out in the right direction. So the wind pushed me off a little bit there. Not much. I need to go back and write the backspin, side spin that I did from right there so I can go back to that spot, because you put that backspin and side spin on it and there's only that one spot where that will work to the cup. And then you can start working the adjustment from that point. I think on that one though, you want to have several spots on that rough where you've got some numbers for when you're on the side, and you have a setup for when you're at the top. Because if the wind was blowing in the wrong direction, I wouldn't want to have to draw over the sand. So you can go all the way to the top on the right hand side and get to the right hand side of the cup, and you can pull that direction out. There's a big rough pad right there. So if you've got wind blowing kind of like what I had, this side right here is easy to work the wind out because you're pulling out into the fairway and you're not involving the sand. But if the wind was blowing like this where you have to involve the sand, you could get up here in the front where you could pull this direction and you would be in front of the sand. It gives you more options with other kinds of winds that aren't favorable for this side. So I might want to have like a setup here that's like 2 backspin, blah, 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 and then another one for here. So depending on the wind conditions, I may take this shot or I may take this shot. Playing around with it. Hole number 5. All right. I love this hole. This is definitely a hole that we can get an eagle on. And it's all about hitting perfect into the cup. Hole number 5. I'm going to take a Titan. Just because I'm playing with Titans today. I don't need to buy any Titans. Let's roll. Rolling. Hole number 5. So the goal is to get, there's a spot up there, and we want to get into Kingfisher range, and it should be in pretty damn close. Let's see what my opponent does. They got an Apocalypse. So I'm going to be with a Kingmaker and an extra, or excuse me, with an extra mile and a Titan. It's 1.5 backspin, maximum right-hand side spin. I want to start off at the plus 13 mark and then work the wind out from there. My goal is 323. That is the goal. Now let's see if we can achieve it. See if we can get this big master plan together. It's perfect. It always helps to hit perfect. And just rolling up there, and they're going to be right there in that range of 323. 324. My opponents and I are thinking the same. Okay, 1.5 backspin maximum. I'm starting at the plus 13 mark. 3.9. It's 2.1 per ring, so 2 rings is 4.2. Oh, hit it great to the right. That might be all right though, if it doesn't clip right there. Arrgh. You gotta hit that perfect. Sometimes you can hit it one ring great one way or the other. It's better to hit it one ring great to the right, because then you end up in the rough and you're just right there. But if you hit it to the left, depending on the clubs that you have and what kind of shot you're taking, you're on the water side over there. It's always best to try and stay away from the drink. Still got a shot from here though. I still like my chances of making it. See where I'm at in my club. I should be eking towards max distance. Hitting it perfect. If I hit this perfect, it's going in the hole just like my opponent. Nope. Alright, let's get this in the cup. That is going to be max distance. Do I even have enough distance? Yes, I do. There's max. There's max. There's mid. Eking in that 3/4 range. See if I have enough backspin. Just barely. Four, 5. There's 4. 5. Now let's hit it perfect. And that was everything but perfect. That was like, fuck, I can't even believe that wasn't great. It wasn't good. Distance was right though. I can't believe that was a great. I can't believe that wasn't like a 1 ring good, which is like a 4 ring off, 3 rings off. It's bad. There's nothing good about. I watch this guy's videos, and he's got a saying that big is better, better is good. See if I can get this in. Into hold. Freaking robo collars. can get like 17 of them a day. All right, we're still behind that person that's in first. They've picked something up, and I haven't picked anything up yet. So hole number 6. We still got 4 more shots. All right, and this one's not. I'm just going out here for the eagle, and I'm just having fun on this hole. Because I'm not like, I think that this hole can be a risky hole. It would be better to bring a Kingmaker, but I'm going to practice this all week with a katana. I'm going to bring this bag right here. And actually, I can bring that bag. That wind's not helping or hurting us. I'm going to do plus 10 on the drive. I'm just trying to find a spot out there on the wind. Here we go. Let's see if we can backspin, side spin, curl it into the hole. Maximum backspin, maximum side spin, maximum curl. No overpower. Straight to the cup. In the hole. You can take this with a katana. I'm taking a Titan because I want to be able to get as far up on the green as I possibly can, because I'm bringing a backspin club. So if I can get all the way to the cup, it's like doing a dunk. I don't think I can get close enough to actually try a dunk. And with the backboard that's here, if you did the dunk and you didn't make it, there's a good chance you're still going to end up on the green. You could actually have a shot coming back down towards it if you could get to the green. I don't think you can. You know, maybe if you brought a big enough ball. I think those trees are in the way. All right, 4-3. I'm going to do 4-7. There's 4, 5, 6, 7. Hitting it perfect. We'll see if we can just lean ourselves out there and just roll out in front of that shadow. Try and stay as low as possible so we have more available to us on the right hand side. I'm coming in on the right. While my opponent doesn't have that much more much distance on me, you can see when they come in on the right, they don't have as much that they can pinch up against the tree to try and really dig it in there towards the green. Not that they can't get close from there. Let me show you how that shot's supposed to be done. Come on. Alright, so I have a little bit better window. And I got a power 3 ball, so I can get way up there. And I got a backspin club. So maximum backspin. Maximum side spin. Trying to get them both on there. And I'm trying to look at the tail and see if I put on maximum curl, like where I'd be in relationship to the cup. So I'm going to start off with my blue rings like wedged onto the fairway at plus 9 yards. Then I'm going to take the wind out. It's 1.3 per or 1.1 per ring. So there's 3. And I'm going to do max curl. Hitting it perfect. And trying to backspin, side spin, curl it into the cup. Using that backboard, rolling it off, and actually overshot it so I can move it back a little. So my blue ring was up against the outside, or the outside of the fairway, where the green touches the apron. It was on that transitional line. I could move it out maybe half a ring and see if that pulls me more towards the cup. I'm just going to find a spot out there. I'm going to play that shot. That shot is super safe. And the deal is you can have a little bit of fun at it. So I'm trying to have fun on at least one hole. And this is it. I think on this hole that obviously there's gonna be people that get albies, but there's gonna be more people that epic fail trying to get that albie than there are gonna get that albie. So I don't want to be in that group. That takes out a big chunk of your bracket. Eliminated themselves by failing on this hole. And so I'm going to let them go ahead and fail. And call it a day. I'm not going to try and get greedy myself. All right, hole number 7. Hole number 7. What we got here? All right, I am going for it on this hole. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. We're getting shit wind. The deal is the shot I really want to take, I may not be able to take because of that wind. I really want to try and get over to this spot right here, but you got to have a power 4, power 5 ball. And with that kind of wind, this due headwind, it may be more difficult to do that shot than it would be to come out here and just lay myself up. Although this wind is not going to be conducive for the second shot coming in, we're going to have a pure head side wind coming in. Almost a pure side wind. Whereas if I was in front, it won't matter. But I don't know if I can fight against it to get here, so let's see. We'll see. If I can, I'll bring out a power 4 ball, and that's about as far as I'm willing to go. Let's bring out one that's got, let's pre-pick one that's got low wind. So that would be my Kingmaker X. Kingmaker X, let's start off with that. Bring in an extra mile. No, I'm going to bring in Apocalypse. Get that ball rolling. Play some golf. Big top. Hole number 7. I could lay it up on the other side and go for that shot, and you can do it with a Titan, but the deal is I'm practicing the shot and I want to see what's possible in different winds. So like if it becomes apparent that you can't do it against this type of wind, then I will go to the other shot. But I don't want to get caught where I'm like, hey, I really need to go for it on this hole and not know if I have that shot in the bag. It's possible. Maybe. I think this isn't like a lot of these holes. When you're around water and sand, the wind is much stronger. If we can get out there on the course. Cody goes first. Let's see how bad our wind is. That's pretty bad. That's with a 0 power ball. So we do have a lower wind ball, so it's not going to be quite that bad. Let's see if he epic fails right there. Bam, that was an epic fail. Epic. Okay, 3-6. And look at how much room I have up there. I don't know that I have 3-6 of room. It's 1.5 per ring. So, I mean, there's no place over there that I have room for it, unless I brought out a power 5 ball. I only have one Berserker left. Maximum, and I'm going to put on just a little bit of backspin. I'm going to move it over about 3.5 rings. And I hit it 2 rings, at least 2 rings great to the left. And it still couldn't make it over. And in that situation, hitting it great to the left like that, like, puts me more out into this fairway out here. But I was way the hell back in the fairway. So it pushed me way off. I don't think even if I would have been out here on the flat, to the right, if I'd have hit that to the right, I don't think I would have been able to catch the fairway. I was so far out. That wind is super strong on that side. All right. There's Max. There's Man. I'm about mid-club. Maybe. Put some curl on to bring it back over towards the cup. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I can still get underneath the tree. At least get some movement towards it. I slightly over curled it. Arrgh. I had the distance about right. If I'd have been, that's the whole thing about curl, is trying to get like the absolute perfect spot for it to come around there. That's why you don't make those shots very often, but when you do, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's not my preferred way to come in at that cup. Trying to be right out here in front. I will say that I had the shot on the other side every single time. It's just I couldn't get it to drop every single time. Whereas when you're coming over here, when you get in the right spot, it's easy to get in. But it's getting to the right spot that's the problem. It may only happen 1 in 3 times. And so you got 1 in 3 that you make it versus 3 in 3 that you got the perfect shot. And I don't know that I was making it any more than 1 in 3 the other direction. But at least I got to take that shot every stinking time. I may go back to the other shot. And I didn't have to use as big a stuff. I may have to, I want that shot in my bag for sure when there's tailwind. Because you can get over there, sometimes even with a power 3 ball, you can get over there and get in front and have an easier shot. But when you're going in headwind, I'm going to have to go to the shot to the left and just try and get over. Hole number 8. Hole number 8. All right, I love this hole. I love this hole. Quasar Grizzly. 3 3/4 backspin. Maximum right-hand side spin. Plus 30 to the cup. 1.3 times, whatever the wind. All right, 3. Why am I taking it with that Quasar? Three 3/4. .9 is 6.37 rings. There's 5, 6, and a third. Hitting it perfect. See how close we can get. Just a bit on the inside. Didn't pull it enough. And I did a max adjustment there. I just did 1 per ring. I don't like how that was set up. It wasn't where I wanted to be on that shadow. I got the backspin right, but the side spin I need to... I watched it. The deal is the side spin stuff has changed since they added in multi-side spin balls, and I think my notes for that hole were set up with the before they made the change. I don't like being off on the left-hand side over here and being that close. You can see where I was at, how many rings away from that rough I was, and how close my opponent is. If they get that wind wrong, bam, you're in the rough. And you have an entire fairway to the left-hand side that you could have used to get a very similar shot, and bam, you ended up in the sand because you didn't pull the wind correctly. And you just blew your tournament on a par 3 that has a bunch of spots that are 2 rings and farther away from that transitional surface. When this hole first came out, the shot that Tommy taught people how to play on this hole was right up against the edge over there. It was very close. It wasn't quite as close as my opponent, but it was along that edge. And when this hole first came out, none of us liked it because it's a difficult hole to play. But once you get over the fear of that little hill coming up to it, it's actually a pretty hole-in-one-able hole. Or it gives you at least a good shot at hole-in-one. But stay the hell away from that rough. There's no reason. Now my opponent was able to recover. Nice shot. It's probably a replay. Good go. And it looks like they weren't. Look at that. All right. We did not get anything on that hole, but we had some fun. Hole number 9. All right, we're just playing a flat trajectory here. We got an Albie shot on hole number 9. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. That's going to determine a little bit. We're not getting good or bad wind. And I'm going to bring a power 4 ball, and I'm bringing one of those. I'm bringing an open ball in my Apocalypse. Selecting that. Bring in the APOC. I could bring that back too. Let me switch this up. I want to see what kind of distance I can get out there with my big topper. My big topper at this point in its lifespan, hold on. They have about the same curl, so I guess the Apocalypse would be better, but I get better ball guide there, and I got more topspin with the big topper. We'll try the Apocalypse because I know that it works. Let's see if we can go get an Albie. Even if I fail on the drive, I should still have an Albie shot with my rough iron. And yesterday I was too far up on the flat, and so I wasn't getting any help going to the right. And then I hit the shot to the left, which didn't help matters. To 8. I'm gonna do a 2-ring pull. That's 3. That puts me about a little over half into power. Max curl and a little bit of power. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I can walk it around that corner. Let's see if I catch a little bit of the edge there so it throws it to the right. And if I can weasel my way around that corner and out, excellent. Excellent. I got a serious shot for Albie right here, and I'm doing 10% to the cup. I should have a max grizzly shot. Now, if you're going over here to where my opponent's going, I think I would rather do the rough bump and try and bleed myself out into that area and try and make it more consistent than trying to catch it here and then bringing it around. They're so close right there that if they hit that grate, I see a lot of people catch that grate and they clip that rough like he almost did, and they end up back there, or their second bounce clips the rough and they end up really short and they don't have a chance through those trees. Okay, so it's 4.3 equals, and I am right at max club, so it's 4.73 rings. Let's see where I'm coming out at. Coming out right at it, 4.73 rings. There's 4.75. And I hit it one ring great to the left, and if I was going to hit it one ring great one way or the other and it still go in, that's the side. Just that much off. And I needed to pull it more than 10% on that hill because I hit it to the left and it ended up on the right hand side. But if you hit it to the left like that and you've got it right, it could still go in because now it starts to involve that hill and it drops down. That was my Albie shot. So a lot of people are coming to this hole just trying to get eagle, and that shot right there can afford you a look at Albie. And if you end up in the rough out there, you can still get an Albie shot with your Nirvana. It's just not a really good one, but you still get a pretty decent shot. What amazes me is I see people fail over there and they can't get to this spot and they press the issue. And what I think they should do is go to the right, or excuse me, the left, and get to the very end of those trees, this row of trees, and start on the fairway there, and you can do a max overpower hook shot and get yourself way up there so that you have a short chip on the fairway. Made it out. And from that side over there, I've seen people make Albies because you can get lucky, but typically it's just doing what my opponent did, where you're just like scrambling out of the tree so that you have a really easy eagle shot. But I would rather take a putt for eagle. I always think when my opponent comes in here with an in-bringer, I got a shot. Now, where they've got it set up, wind will be a factor, and if they hit it perfect, it should come in on the right-hand side of the cup. And hit the right-hand side of the flagpole. And went right in. El Perfecto. Good game. Good game. Had a chance at Albie on that. So just coming in with the minimum score. I'll be able to go through and look at that, and just somebody here, one of these people, either that person that was one up, they must have dropped a shot here towards the end. This person dropped hole number 9. What's the difference? These places share position. 2, 2, 2, 2. So they did pick up hole number 1, but then they dropped one of the par 5s. All right, there we go. You can't drop off minimum score. That person would have had a clear 13, and they would have been, that's a great tiebreaker. So you can't drop anything once you pick it up. You got to forget about that hole, and every hole is vitally important. All right, that was the qualifying round for the Big Top tournament. Thanks for watching.